Hey guys, my name is Meg and I'm a mom. And so this is going to be the third video on this channel now. And like I said in the last video, this video is going to be the explanation of how Daniel and I met. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter than the last two. The last two had a lot of detail to them. This story I can kind of sum up pretty quickly. Like I said, the way we met is probably not what most of you guys are probably going to think it was. We actually met through Tinder. Yeah, we met through the dating app. At the time, I had been separated from my son's father for about a year, and you know, I was using the app to really just try to like meet people. I had found a couple of guys that I went on, you know, a few dates with and got to know. I did not respond to any of the ones that were like really creepy. Like there were, you know, of course the typical guys who would ask you for, you know, pictures and inappropriate conversations and things like that, but it's pretty easy to weed through that stuff. It's just as simple as unmatching those people and only talking to the ones that actually want to get to know you. So that is what happened with Daniel and I. We talked on the app for quite a while. I would say we talked on the app for about a month. I gave him my personal cell phone number after I felt like I could trust him, you know, once we really got to know each other and I felt like it was moving in a positive direction. So I gave him my cell phone number. We would text pretty frequently, and that went on for a couple more weeks, and then I didn't realize it, but apparently there was quite a few times where he like was inviting me to hang out and do things, and he said that like I would always say no or have a reason not to, and he thought that like I just didn't want to meet him. And so when he actually asked me out, like actually was like, hey, do you want to go to dinner with me this day, this time? And I said yeah, because I really did want to meet him. I was very interested in him. I thought we had a great connection, and I loved the fact that he was really trying to get to know me as a person, and he was not put off at all by the fact that I already had a son who was at the time 3, and you know, I was very open about that. I never tried to hide the fact that I was a mom. That was in my, you know, my bio on my profile was, you know, I'm a mom. And so, you know, he wasn't put off by that. In fact, he was very optimistic about, you know, spending time with not only me but him. So we did finally meet. Apparently, when he had asked me to go on this date, like he had told his best friend that like if I had a reason not to, that he was just going to stop talking to me because he felt like he was spinning his wheels, and I had no idea. So I'm really glad I said yes. So he picked me up. We went to this little place down in the Siesta Key Village. It's called the Daiquiri Deck, and we went there earlier in the day. It was like probably about like 6 or 7-ish, and we had dinner there, and I had a steakhouse salad, and I can't remember exactly what he had, but I know he had gator bites as like an appetizer, and I had the salad. And so we ate dinner, and then we went down to this little place also in the village. It's called the Siesta Key Oyster Bar. And so we went there, had a drink, and then we went back to my house, and we were just hanging out. We watched a movie, and we watched Step Brothers. That was the first movie we ever watched, and I did kiss on the first date, but that was it. And then over time we just really enjoyed each other's company. We got to know each other a lot more and spent a lot more time together, and realized very quickly that we saw something very real in the relationship. And after about a month of, you know, seeing each other, he had asked me to be exclusively his girlfriend, and of course I said yes. And a little while later we had decided that we were going to move. He had a job opportunity down in Bonita Springs with his uncle, and so he wanted to take it and asked if I was willing to relocate with him, and of course I said yes. And so we found a little townhouse down south, and we lived there. We lived in that townhouse for about a year, and you know, from there our relationship just kind of took off. We were living together and we were very happy, and I say were, like we're not anymore. We are still happy. We've been together ever since. We had our 3-year anniversary back in July, so it's been a little over 3 years. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. He has become a wonderful stepdad to my son. That is who Elijah calls dad, and he took on that role wholeheartedly. You know, it's very important when you're a single mom to meet someone who looks at your child as another person to love, and, you know, not just your girlfriend's kid. He very much has adapted to the role of being a dad and loves Eli just as if he were his own flesh and blood, and treats him as if he were his own flesh and blood. And Elijah knows no differently. So that was very important to me, and that was something that I really fell in love with him, was how he not only treated me and made me feel special, and made me feel important, and made me feel loved, but he did the same for my son as well. So that is pretty much it. That is the story of how we met. So if you guys have any more questions about our relationship, how we met, things like that, where we are going in the future, maybe we'll do a video together answering those questions. You can leave them down in the comments below. Alrighty guys, well, that is it for this video, and I'm probably going to be posting a poll on Instagram to see what you guys want to see for the next video. I'm thinking maybe either like a Q&A and have you guys ask some questions on my Instagram and I'll answer them here, or I was thinking of doing a video just kind of going over all of the things that I have been collecting and gathering and what I plan on getting in order to prepare for my surgery next month. So until the next video, I hope you guys are doing well. To